We are going to be talking all about the mega girl group GRL and just how Robin Antin's failed second attempt at a Pussycat Dolls reunion would not only result in a new group altogether, but would also encase a tragic death that no one was expecting. The Pussycat Dolls were a burlesque dance troupe that started in 1995 at Johnny Depp's club, the Viper Room. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into this in this video, as Deep Dive dives deep into the entire history, but I do want to bring up the points relevant to GRL. So fast forward to 2003, when Robin Antin, the choreographer behind the Pussycat Dolls, took her then burlesque troupe and transformed them into a Jimmy Iovine certified platinum group. Kinda like the Black Eyed Peas. Nicole was even almost in the Black Eyed Peas after her group Eden's Crush, but she would reach critical success when she was officially cast in the Pussycat Dolls. Now, single after single kept hitting off for PCD, however, due to the group structure, tensions were very high. See, Nicole was the front runner of the group, and Robin treated her as such. She would receive constant special treatment, and was one of the only dolls to actually ever sing on any of the songs.
The Dolls had been together for nearly 5 years, but now Nicole Scherzinger is sharing another well-kept secret. She says that on the Dolls' studio albums, almost all of the tracks, including the background vocals, were all her own.
I love those girls, they're like my sisters, but people don't even know the story. They have no idea. I was in center because I was singing. I was the one singing. Oh man, I hope I don't get in trouble for the stuff that I say, because I never really talked about it, but I'll never forget I finished the album, PCD. And Ron and I brought the girls into the studio, and we played it for them. And it was the first time they'd ever heard the music. Do you understand what I'm saying? We played the album for the Pussycat Dolls. It's the first time they'd ever heard the songs.
Melody sang a bit here and there, but the records were Nicole. You know, with the exception of an occasional ad lib, but they were Nicole. They were created with her.
I probably did 95% of the album on my own.
Robin would learn her lesson with this and would definitely not repeat this mistake in the future, but we'll get to that. Everything reached a head in 2009 when Nicole was featured as a solo artist on the Pussycat Dolls album for their song called Jai Ho. And I actually feel like that's what prompted all the dolls to get solos on the Doll Domination Deluxe Edition, because if you go to that album at the end, they all have like Melody's solo, Jessica's solo, they all have their own songs. But alas, this didn't satisfy them. They were all tired of living in the shadow of Nicole Scherzinger, the lead of the group. Robin Antin's nightmare was in full swing. Just as her group was finally blowing up, they all wanted to quit. Even Nicole wanted to go solo, but Robin would juice one more generation of the Pussycat Dolls out of Nicole before the group officially disbanded in 2010. However, Robin's search to build her Pussycat Doll empire was far from over, and she had learned her lesson. Next time, no main front singer. Everyone would allegedly be treated equal.
Could these be the next teen role models? Robin Antin, creator of the Pussycat Dolls, pushes the envelope with her sexy follow-up, Girlicious.
Robin Antin is an expert at pushing boundaries. She created the super sexy Pussycat Dolls. Now she's going even further.
Don't you wish your girlfriend was a freak like me?
Hi, I'm Robin Antin, and I'm the creator, founder of the Pussycat Dolls.
Robin Antin is pushing the boundaries of teen sexuality and making millions.
Don't you wish your girlfriend was wrong like me?
Her Pussycat Dolls are a worldwide sensation.
We sold 7 million albums, and I created the Pussycat Dolls Lounge in Vegas. So I have the show running there. Now I have my own lingerie line called Pussycat Dolls by Robin Antin.
Everything she do is like me.
And she's following up that success with Girlicious.
For me, it's all about female empowerment and girl power, and, you know, kind of like we all sort of speak the same message. You know, we all want the same thing.
But, okay, so what is the brand right now? What do we have as part of Pussycat
So
Dolls?
now we have the new TV show that I was telling you about last time, Pussycat Dolls present Girlicious. So I have my new recording group called Girlicious that is so amazing.
Okay.
You know, as great as the Pussycat Dolls. And
what else is in the
Well,
works?
Girlicious is now
We're going to bring them out a little bit later.
Yes, and so, you know, we're doing an album with them right now.
Okay.
We've got the 2 singles right now on iTunes that are just, I mean, it's huge on iTunes. It's just, it's done so well, and it's just been out for a second, you know?
How do you know what's right or wrong? You're somebody, we talked earlier about, you know, Miley Cyrus, okay, now out. I would think it was very conscious expanding the brand. I think intelligently so. A lot of people are offended by it. How do you know when you go too far, this is not right for me, this is not on brand? Give me an example of what you didn't do but was served up to you.
You know, I mean, for me, it's, you know, I speak to a very young demographic as much as I speak to an older demographic, because in the Pussycat Dolls Lounge in Vegas, it is about the women. I mean, you have to be 21 and over to get into the clubs and all of that. But, you know, I take the music just in terms of the actual, you know, recording groups and how to do it right and how not to do it right. I take that music and I play it for girls that are 12 years old, 13 years old. There was a segment on our TV show where I had young girls come on the show and actually judge the girls.
Okay, I want to stop there and ask you that. It's an interesting point. I had a big debate on Today's Show this morning with a woman who thought this was pushing it too far. I was on Billy Bush's radio show. He and I were arguing, oh my God, this is not right for young girls. How do you, now that you're selling a certain kind of sexuality, how do you know, okay, this is not, I can't do this for kids, and this is right, this is wrong? You know, we do live in a kind of an over-sexed world, so how do you modulate that?
Yeah, you know, it's a fine line, because young girls want to, like, you know, my whole thing with the Pussycat Dolls was about young girls wanting to dress up like dolls. Well, when you dress up like a doll, you want to put on makeup, you want to have fun hair, you want to have cute, kind of sexy clothing. So there is a fine line. So it's not about being all conservative with, you know, buttoned up to here and not showing any skin. I mean, you know, I might push it a little bit, but that's who I am. I come from the sexy world. You know what I mean? I'm known as like the choreographer who does sexy choreography. I've always had that behind me. So, you know, but there's definitely, you know, I'm not into. It's just, you kind of know when you're showing too much or you're not, you know? But everyone has always said, maybe, you know, Pussycat Dolls are too sexy. You know what? Let them say that. It's working. I'm doing something right. Exactly.
By the way, anytime you're doing something, you are pushing the edge. It's not going to be for everyone. It's not going to, you know.
And it's also one of those things when people, and this is a great message out there, is when people tell you, no, you can't do that, that's wrong. Well, guess what? I'm going to keep doing it.
Robin Antin was set to continue the legacy of the Pussycat Dolls in a venture to find a new member of the troupe on a whole new medium, reality television. She teamed up with Larry Rudolph and took that television concept to the network, the CW, where they would go into production for their show titled The Pussycat Dolls Present The Search for the Next Doll. Although after winning the show and securing her place as a member of PCD, Aisha Tolano didn't even make it through an album cycle as a member, as she would drop out of the group shortly after securing her spot. Despite this, the show was actually a success and was renewed for a second season. However, this time around, there was now a new objective. At this point, the Pussycat Dolls had already disbanded, and there was a void left open for a new burlesque pop girl group to take over under the direction of Robin Antin. And the concept of the second season would revolve around her putting together an entirely new troupe by the name of Girlicious. Now, after building another successful European girl group called the Paradiso Girls, Robin knew exactly what formula it took to put together a successful female pop act. However, this project would not go exactly as planned. Now, if you want me to do a video about the Paradiso Girls and Girlicious, let me know in the comments below, whether you want to see it on Deep Dive or Secret Society or BJ Investigates. I don't know if I can really get BJ to do like a whole investigation on the Paradiso Girls, but comment below. But this particular video is about what came next in the Pussycat Doll legacy. See, after the Paradiso Girls had disbanded and Girlicious ended up as a commercial failure by 2011, Robin decided to go back to the drawing board with a new generation of the official Pussycat Dolls, recasting the entire group, Nicole included, and introducing 5 new faces to represent the revamped troupe. They would make their premiere appearance in a 2012 Super Bowl commercial alongside Danica Patrick, and I think the commercial was directed by her brother. I think that's how she got it. But Robin would describe the new girl group as a fun, real campy kind of sexy. But again, what we're doing for this next life of the Pussycat Dolls, the girls are all young. It's a fresh, young energy. The featured ad would depict the new members as Paula Van Oppen, who acted in the movie Burlesque, as well as Vanessa Curry, Christiana Sayers, Erica Keel Jenkins, and even former Paradiso Girls member Lauren Bennett. That was my favorite sentence I've ever read in any video ever. Following their Super Bowl debut, the group would eventually evolve into something entirely different. And with mostly new members, this would be accompanied with a full rebrand and name change. And the group would now be instead known as GRL. With Vanessa, Christiana, and Erica dropped from the group, Paula and Lauren would remain, and 3 new members would be added. A Canadian singer named Emmeline Estrada, Natasha Slayton, the daughter of comedian Bobby Slayton, oh, you know he invested. I'm just kidding, I don't really know that, but oh my god. And former X Factor contestant Simone Battle. Now, shortly after Robin had made the group official, they would begin recording for a debut studio album, working with record producers Max Martin, Circuit, Lucas Hilbert, and Dr. Luke. However, this project would later be scrapped, and instead, they would drop a self-titled EP following their first singles. A Rolling Stone article would reveal a bizarre aspect of the GRL situation, involving disgraced record producer Dr. Luke, who works with clients such as Doja Cat, Kim Petras, and even new emerging artist Ethel Cain. Now, basically, the band was made to perform in front of Dr. Luke and Max Martin on the floor. Someone detailed the strange scenario by saying the showcase was in a really tiny room at an LA nightclub, Bootsy Bellows. We were freaking out because we thought there was going to be a stage, but we were just performing on the floor right in front of them. Luke brought his daughter. She must have been only 2 years old, and she kept running out to dance with us. We were trying to impress him, and we didn't want to step on her or knock her over. Now, their official musical debut was a song featured on the Smurfs 2 soundtrack, putting the newfound group alongside luminaries such as Nelly Furtado, Owl City, and Britney Spears. Now, if you know anything about the Free Britney timeline of events, you might recall that her manager, Larry Rudolph, was notorious for working his clients to the bone, and he made no exception for the girl groups he worked. In fact, Larry Rudolph was one of the driving forces that brought the band Fifth Harmony to the forefront of the pop music scene in 2014. And if you aren't familiar of what it's like working under Larry Rudolph, here's an indicator of what you might expect.
Times, because we're all human, you kind of like catch yourself kind of, missing home, or just us, like we're teenagers, we're teenage girls, and we're kind of dealing with problems that like teenage girls have, but like, the next day, like we'll cry at night, and then like the next day we have to do an interview in the morning, so it's like, that's difficult. But I think it'd be selfish of us to kind of be like, like to be ungrateful, because it's so much more than like seeing, like Ali said, all the people's faces when we perform, and like people smiling and crying and telling us how much we help them. Like that is so much more than any of like what we deal with.
Now, if that didn't give you a glimpse of the absolute ringer that GRL was about to be put through, imagine the dynamic of a group being directed by not only Larry Rudolph, but fierce dance instructor Robin Antin as well, who was notorious for pushing her artists past their limit and then some.
But Robin walks the walk and talks the talk. You look at her, she's in incredible shape. Everything she preaches to these girls, all the discipline, all the exercise, all the starvation, all the pride in yourself and your appearance and your character. She walks the walk and talks the talk. It's all real for her.
She works so hard. Plus, she's a workhorse. I mean, she works, and everything she does, she accomplishes, and everything she does big.
I thought it was important to meet the woman not only behind GRL, but the woman who put together the Pussycat Dolls. She's a choreographer, producer, designer, businesswoman, a mogul. How hard is it to keep the girls together and to find the right mix?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, like when I decided I wanted to create a new girl group. I mean, I really I had done it before a little bit. I did Girlicious on my TV show, and Jimmy and I had put together another group that was just a sort of a short-lived thing. But this was something that I knew that I wanted to do and have the success of the Pussycat Dolls, but and have a different, a very different kind of a group. And I knew that I wanted to get girls that were going to really gel together and really, protect and respect each other. And, girls are always going to fight. Where I come from, just, as someone that has the experience, I'm older than them, and also just being a woman, being a girl, being their girlfriend also, besides their boss. I talk to them like a friend, and I listen to them. And I think that's the most important thing.
Now, after a Smurf-tastic debut, the girls would collaborate with Pitbull on his internationally successful track, Wild Wild Love. Although it didn't chart high in the US, it helped make a name for GRL and put their name out across the world. Their true breakthrough hit, however, would manifest as their second single, a highly memorable 2000s hit titled Ugly Heart, which gained some untimely international success following a tragedy that would change the group forever. After a life full of depression and financial stress, Simone Battle, who was known for her striking vocals and charming presence as an original member of GRL, would sadly take her own life on September 5th, 2015 in her West Hollywood home. The world was swept with heartbreak following the loss of the beloved GRL member, causing #RIP Simone to trend worldwide on Twitter. And many of her famous colleagues, including Robin Antin, Simon Cowell, Pitbull, Mel B, and Nicole Scherzinger, would pay their condolences to the singer, who passed at only 25 years old. Now, the group would make a statement on one of their Twitter accounts, saying, "Words cannot express the depth of our loss. Simone's incredible talent was only surpassed by the size of her heart. We will carry her memory with us in everything we do." Though their song Ugly Heart became a massive hit following her death, before Simone could even experience the success for herself, the girls found it difficult to carry on the same after the loss of their fellow troupe member. They would go on to release a beautiful emotional song tribute titled Lighthouse to pay homage to Simone. And the music video included clips of the young fallen starlet that would lovingly tug at the heartstrings of their many grieving fans. Though it wasn't easy for them to push forward, they would go on a tour with Meghan Trainor in 2015 for 2 dates. But eventually, the group came to an end later that year, with a statement from RCA Records saying, nearly 9 months following the tragic death of band member Simone Battle, girl group GRL announces today that they are disbanding. We wish them continued success in each of their creative endeavors. Although this seemed to be the last of GRL, they would reunite once again in 2016, and they would once again gain new representation through Matt Winter and Logo Talent. And their return with a new single would be slated for the summer of 2016. A new member by the name of Jazzy Mejia would be added to the group, alongside original members Lauren Bennett and Natasha Slayton, making it now officially a trio. After releasing 2 singles, the girls had their sights set to go on a tour in 2018. However, the tour plans, much like the Pussycat Dolls reunion tour, would completely fall through. And shortly after, Jazzy would leave the group, leaving only Natasha and Lauren as members. Now, GRL has teased yet another reunion multiple times across their social media, but there is yet to be an official confirmation of GRL's return since their final song in 2017. Whether or not Robin will continue to push for another resurgence of the band is a mystery. However, with the lawsuit against Nicole Scherzinger, which was explained on BJ Investigates, it would be no surprise if Robin would try her hand at turning Lauren into the new Nicole and continue to force GRL into the mainstream any way she can, just as she originally intended when forming this new generation of Pussycat Dolls. And y'all remember, Lauren Bennett is one of the longest standing members of the Pussycat Dolls franchise at this point. I mean, she was in the Paradiso Girls, who had their hit song Patron Tequila with Eve and Lil Jon, and that was one of 2 of their only songs. Their other song, Who's My Bitch, that was their second single. Their whole group got canceled after that. So let me know if you want me to do a video about the Paradiso Girls. But Robin has done this before. Robin has continually pushed Lauren Bennett. I mean, she was in the Super Bowl ad. She was the first person to be a part of the reimagined Pussycat Dolls without Nicole in 2012. And then she's also, as soon as the Paradiso Girls end, she's the only withstanding member from that, and she's brought into the cutting edge new group as the front face. I don't know, it does seem like Lauren Bennett could have had the Nicole Scherzinger potential and was definitely getting the Nicole Scherzinger treatment at the time from Robin Antin. One of y'all even DM'd me and told me that apparently they were trying to reboot the Pussycat Dolls in 2020 with Pia Mia, but that ended up falling through, and they were even gonna add some members of Girlicious to the Pussycat Dolls. So Robin has been trying at this forever and using whatever mixture of what she perceives to be interchangeable girls to create the ultimate girl group to top her previous successes. And it's just not happening, it seems. And now, y'all, there are so many things that run deep with these girl groups. I'm definitely gonna do more videos on this, especially with GRL and Paradiso Girls. So if you've watched all these videos on all channels, be sure to comment anything you want us to add, because I am not done covering this over here. I went into a deep rabbit hole of Girlicious before filming this video, and oh my goodness, they were marketing them at tweens, y'all. It was bad. That about does it for this episode of Secret Society. Like I said before, be sure to check out the video on Study Break about Kaya Jones's traumatic experience with the Pussycat Dolls. Check out the video on Deep Dive about the history of the Pussycat Dolls, and check out the BJ Investigates video all about Robin Antin and Nicole Scherzinger's cutthroat lawsuit. They will all be linked below, and I will see y'all later. Bye!